We're here on the pound dollar 60-minute time frame, and we have a triangle that's set up, and this was one of the last currency pairs I've come to do my review, and I'm a little bit late getting involved, but as you can see here, we've got a triangle that's now been tested 4 times on the top, 3 times on the bottom. This type of pattern typically doesn't come back down, so I had to get my entry at market, which meant that I only really just got over a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Now on this particular trade, as usual, there is always something within price that tells you that you shouldn't buy or you shouldn't sell. You never get 100% confluence in all time frames, but there is a reason why I've bought this at this level rather than selling it, because we do have, if we look here on the dailies and the 240 time frame, you can clearly see that we have an AB equals CD pattern right at market at the 131.61. One thing to bear in mind with any pattern at all is that we have to work ranges, and so that means just because the pattern completes at 131.61 doesn't mean that price is going to instantly turn at that area. In fact, sometimes it turns a little bit earlier. Most of the time it goes up to test and a little bit beyond, and a really good way to look at these patterns is if they come in at structure. And if we just put a structure level on where it completes, you can see that on this outside return here, which just so happens to come in at the psychological number 132 flat, which as we know acts as a magnet, you can see that this pattern hasn't yet been up and tested structure or that even handled number. What we can also do is we can throw on some fibs, and as you can see, if we invert this leg, you can see that we have the full inversion, the 1618, which is as we know is the golden means, coming in at the top of structure, and the 162 flat. And also if we put an extension in, we can see that we have a 1414 coming in there as well. So right now, even though we have the AB equals CD pattern, I'm not interested in shorting until we go up and test structure and that 1618 and the 13200 and the 1414 extension. So at this stage I've discounted shorting the market based on the higher time frame. But as we drop down to the lower time frames, and you can see here on the 60-minute, I'm not going to draw all of this out, but you should clearly be able to see here that we've been in trend. We're just trending up, and what we've done here is we put in a new structure high, and look right, this is consolidation to the side. And whenever we get that sideways movement, I always look for some sort of breakout pattern, knowing that based on the higher time frame that we can go higher. And so here it is, triangle, 4 tests on the top, 3 tests on the bottom, and I will be looking to take targets at a 127 extension. And if we bring down that fib and look where that 127 comes in, wouldn't you know it, it comes in just below the 13200. So a very, very good place to take targets. So if we bring back on those orders, this is the trade, and so I'm in it with stops beneath this second structure level here, and I'm just going to draw out the risk to reward here. I did have it on at the start of the video, but I will draw it on again. 36 pips of potential profit, 30 pips of risk. I'm going to make that green and make this red. Hmm, 31 pips of risk now, and 35. There you go. Well, it's close within a pip to my original target. So there we go. We'll come back and see if this is a winning or losing trade. And we're back on the pound dollar. We actually have pound news out in a couple of minutes, and what I'm just going to do is move my stop to just a pip under break even there, just in case the news decides to spike the opposite way. And we've actually come up and hit targets now. Is it going to take? There we go, lovely. Targets hit there for 35 pips.